I'm getting ready to ship this out. So, but you guys just needed to see that. He's serious, man. He's gonna get that. He is gonna get that rainbow. Chasing the rainbow. That's what I've been doing with this baby, and it came out glorious. Long day, guys. 9:26, 47 degrees Fahrenheit in the shop. Got my little radiant heater going here, and I've got this piece glued up, and I'll have it set there overnight. Radiant heater is real hot, and I've got it set so that it'll just basically keep this thing, you know, about 70 degrees or something, just so it'll cure normally. So I got the one side glued up, and I cleaned the extra glue off the edges and everything, and the plastic looked fine, so I remasked it, flipped it over, scuffed it up, glued on the other side. So now I got this one, and in about 6 hours I'll be able to mess with that one, and then tomorrow it'll be ready to get sanded and oiled and packed up and shipped out. So making some progress here. Okay guys, I've given the glue a really long time to cure. Didn't want to mess with it until it was nice and hard. And I wanted to show you guys a little trick that I've used for many years for fitting anything flush to another thing, where you don't want to be scratching the other thing. You know? And what I do is you feel against the two surfaces with your finger, because your hands are much more sensitive than your eyes at detecting tiny differences, the thickness of a human hair almost, you can feel. And if you feel that raised lip where you want it to come down flush to your object, the best way to do it is to mask off the area you don't want sanded with some thin yellow masking tape right up against that edge, and then work into that edge with sandpaper until it comes down to the masking tape, and keep going until the masking tape starts to look like it's about to come apart, and then you're done. Yeah, see, this is the edge that I'm interested in right here. So that's all I'm really going to mask off right now, because I'm just going to work on one little zone at a time. And I work that tape right up to the edge of the wood. Okay, now I got that edge of the wood. Okay, and here's the little lip I want to attack. The back of this has already been flushed out. Okay, so right now I'm working on this little bit right here. And you don't want to use real coarse sandpaper for this kind of an operation. So I'm using some 320. Okay, you could use 220, but if it's fresh 220, it could cut right through your masking tape pretty quick. If you've got some older paper that you've almost worn out, that'll work too. Because what you're trying to do is very carefully just rub down that high spot. Okay guys, I'm getting really close. I've just about got the whole thing the way I want it. And so, like I showed you just briefly there, you put masking tape on the area that you want to flush into, and then you work to the masking tape, and then when you peel it off, you're going to have that little tiny height left from the masking tape. And my favorite way to remove that little tiny, I could feel it right there, there's just a little tiny lip, so I'm going to demonstrate real quick like. Okay. Is you take a very sharp blade. You can use a cabinet scraper if you happen to have one handy, but if you don't, I want to show you what a really sharp blade can do for you if you're careful and you use extremely light strokes, and you got to figure out which way the grain of the wood wants to work. You'll tell right away which way the grain wants to work, because it'll start hanging up. If it's going the wrong way, you'll feel the blade. One way will be nice. This way is nice and smooth. Right? And this way is a little bit rougher. You can see the fine dust that's building up on the edge of my blade. And here isn't so much that my scale is way off. I'm taking minute amounts of material off. This is the swarf. You can see it's nothing. It's thinner than the dust that comes off sandpaper. And you can see that I haven't really done much to the plastic except dull it just a little bit. Okay, but now it's really flush. Obviously, I could have just gone around with sandpaper and done that, but the sandpaper would leave deep scratches in the plastic that then I'd have to go all the way to 600 to get out. With the blade, I get these little scuff marks that I can very easily buff out. Just wanted to give you a quick look at the handles in the raw before I oil them up and before I repolish the acrylic. See how flush that is? I'm trying to get this thing into a... Look at the beautiful grain pattern. See how it just goes right along from either side. It's just so pretty. Now I'm ready to go back down to the shop in the 30-degree weather here and buff this baby back out. Alright guys, this is the finished product. This is as perfect as it's going to get. Let me show you the kind of light patterns this thing, once I get the light going there, you can really see some stuff jumping around. It is really something. I don't know if I can express how difficult it is to work with acrylic to people who have not tried to work with acrylic, but it is very difficult not to damage the perfect gloss of it while you're working with it, and to end up with something that is like this is not easy to do. And it's driving the cat crazy, as you can see. I'm just wiggling this around. The cat's chasing it like crazy. Loves that rainbow, man. Chasing the rainbow. Alright. So, here we are. I've got one little fingerprint on it, ruining it, but you can see it's a beauty. Isn't that fun? So, there you have it. Again, thank you for commissioning this. Took me a lot longer, a lot more effort than I anticipated, but that's just how those things go. And I'm going to go wrap this up in some bubble wrap and pack it up and ship it off to you today, sir. Thank you very much. Anybody that wants some custom work, would like to have some scales expertly fitted to their knife or anything like that, get with me. I'll be glad to help you out. Thanks.